Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where in this episode we'll look a bit more at the science and get things up and running. So last episode we saw that our science was not really keeping up, and that was mostly because, if you can see right here, we had stone coming in from our old setup up here. That is not keeping up anymore, so let's expand out with a new blueprint. So the way I want to do it is, if you look here on the map, I'll just kind of want to center it or line it up over here to the left of the copper. So we have these in a nice straight line going up and down. I think that could be a very good solution. So let's just go down here and do a nice setup. For now, let's try and put it in the cell right here and see if that won't be good. So let's steal this little blueprint. Let's remove our requested chests, since that is not something we want. Let's remove our two buffer chests, since that we might have to change out. But other than that, I think this blueprint should be good for what we need. So there we are. Then we'll need a few requested chests, requesting stone, cause request from buffer, and let's see what if we move in. What is it, 200 we're doing the other places? We're doing 100. Let's stay with 100 as well. We should have enough buffered at our storage. So there we are. That means we can move this down the line. Let's just do it from there. There we are. Like this. Copy this part and paste it over the rest of them. So that should give us a lot of stone brick production. Hopefully enough to satisfy our needs in terms of brick. So right now it seems like it maxed out about 1k. And hopefully this can produce that much. We'll see as soon as it starts to run. But yeah, let's mark the area with stone brick production. That has now been sorted. Here comes all of the stone. And then we just need a few more furnaces to activate all of this. Have a feeling that most of these are probably used at the moment. Also the ones we have in our mall. Let's just check to be sure. Where's that? Right here. Because they're all going for the science instead of being safe for this. Since our ratios were correct, but we're running out of stone. So this is kind of stealing what it could. Luckily, it shouldn't take that long for it to get operational. So that is our stone source, stone brick. Look at all the robots trying to move the stone around, so that is perfect. So the next thing we need to look at is actually just setting up a bit more production around the world in case we start to run out. We are doing some mining productivity. That is very, very good. But to make sure we don't run into any issues, let's just hook up the rest of these. Can just steal a bit of the blueprints we have. For example, I think this will be quite nice in terms of getting the right one. 18. I think this is the setup we need. So let's just line it up with these for now. Let's see here, and can line up one more and take that as a blueprint. Let's steal this part and just go across here, filtering or setting it all up as we want. Luckily it all fits in, since that's the way we have designed these blueprints. Should fit in here as well, and right there. Let's move a few down here. It's not overly necessary to do this just yet, but to future-proof ourselves a bit and not having to worry about this in the future, I think it's a rather important step to get done. So now this is set up. That is good. We have some coal here as well. Not as important. We do still have a ton in storage. Could get this one lined up while we are looking at it. And yeah, I think that's a good thing to do just to get our production sorted. Let's fill in the rest of this as well. There we are. In terms of rubber ports, can you fit in? You can as soon as it's done. Of course, right in the middle of the patch, as always. But not really anything we can do about that. So let's remove you. Get the radar away. And add in a bit more mining. So, no, not you. I'd like to take from right here to 18. That should be good. And add it to these. That way we should have everything set up for a nice, simple system. There we are. And let's just get this over this way. And right here as well. Oh, that's misaligned. Right here. And can we get it this way as well then? Somewhat, though not as pretty. There we are. And the last one. So something like that. That should add power to all of it. Should give us enough to fly in. And then we at least have a lot more iron being stored for when we need it up top. So what is our base missing? Pretty much just electric furnaces. That should just be a lack of bricks. But now the bricks are being produced here. We are getting them at an insane rate. So bricks, not really an issue anymore. Wonder how fast it produced. Let's see, where's brick at? Brick. Okay, am I just completely blind in terms of brick? Seems I am. Okay, oh, there we are, bricks. So it can hit, wow, 10k production in one of these. That is actually quite a bit. So hopefully this can supply what we need. That should also fix our production science. Let's just check our consumption of science. So last minute we're consuming about 400 a minute. I'm guessing that's where this one maxes out. We'll max out of 700 when everything is moving. So it's just in case of getting these to catch up. Debating if we should just add speed to these to make them produce a bit faster, but I think it's just the stone that is lacking as the main issue for the holdup. Easy way to solve that. Let's add in a little buffer chest to move most of this in bulk. So, right. There should be fine. And please request a bit to be stored up for further future use. Yeah. That way these should start to run non-stop. At least I can't see why not. All of this is running, that means all these running, that means we'll hit our 700. Hopefully, at some point, if everything that's lacking is our production science. If that is not the case, then we will have to check if the ratios are wrong. But they shouldn't be. So let's give this a bit of time to catch up, and hopefully it is running as it should. So that is our science. That will give us pretty much a tenth of what we need in terms of our Megabase with the 4K. or maybe even an 1/8. We can probably hit that. So yeah, now it's just a case of making sure we have enough resources and expanding things out and getting the power. So as long as everything's holding up, which is most definitely what I'm aiming for, we should also be able to expand out our red and green setups. Right now we're doing 1-to-1. We'll have to keep an eye on the blue as well. And we probably have to do something like that in the future. So where's a good place we can line this up? Could probably move this somewhere else to get a better setup. Or just cover this lake and make it go down this way. That could actually be a good way to do it. So let's try this, guys. Let's cover this lake. And then we should be able to get things to work. At least in terms of getting more of these up and running. Because then we can add in more red and we can add in more green. And just build ourselves a nice surplus. In terms of how much they produce, if we look at our red signs, pretty... let's see if we can find some place where it's stable. Seems to max out about 5.7. Seems to be the maximum production it can do. So about 2.8, 2.9 in one of these. So let's mark it at that. Let's call that 2.8k. So we have something to measure with. This one over here, all of it is not running yet, so I can't really measure it just yet. But if we look at our max production, we have maxed out at about 25, 26. So each one is about, let's say, 12.5k. Each of these can produce. Yeah, 25. Let's say these are 12.5k per one of these producing. So let's call you 2.5k. And that way we know the ratios between them. Or at least how much one of these cells produce. And it's close to a 1-to-1. So if we look at what it needs 2. So it pretty much needs to do 2-to-1 to support this. So that's actually quite important for the future. Because right now, we'll actually need to double this. Or not double, yeah, pretty much double this to support these in terms of our ratios. So let's just do that for now, so we don't run out of red and greens. So let's take this. Oh, we don't need to do that. We'll just do a normal copy. Please take you, and let's make 2 more. 1, 2. That means we have 4 producing greens. That means we will have 10k per minute of capacity for green circuits. And that should be able to support 2 of these, or just somewhere around that. Because these are producing a bit more than what these can support. Oh, there's probably something with the crafting speed as well. Oh well, I forgot to look at the crafting speed. No, that shouldn't matter. These are producing 2.5k per minute. These is producing 2.8. So if it's a 1-to-1, we'll need double of these. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that wouldn't be the first time. So how about our smelters? I don't think we mapped those out last time. If we look at copper, if they're all running at full speed, seems about do 42. Are they all running at the moment? Let's just, oh, because we have some out here as well. That's kind of ruining our setup. So let's just deconstruct this and make it in base instead, where we can control it. I think that will be way better. So please remove this part. It's not even beaconed or anything. So let's look at our production. It's probably going to go down a small amount, but we are running with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 divided up in about 40, 39 seems to be about, could call an even 40 if all of them are running, and they are not, so we can't do that yet. We'll have to do the measure of that when everything is running full speed. How is our steel looking? That looks probably not ratios either. Oh, everything's running, is that correct? They are running, all running here. That is all running. Of course, there's easier ways to calculate this, but I love trying to do it this way in game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we look at our production, we're doing about 3.6, 3.7. And if we have 5, what is that? 6, 700. About 700 steel per of these. Let's call you 0.7k, or yeah, let's call it 0.7. 700 steel per minute. So that then we have something to measure our steel at. Could probably also check what our I'm thinking about dismantling most of this to get correct readings. These are producing a bit. It's not that bad. It's close. I was about to say close enough, but we'll have to dismantle most of this to get an accurate reading. So what if we just stop all the inputs for now? We'll just remove it in the future. But please remove that. That will grind everything to a halt, but should get us accurate readings in terms of production. Steel is still about the same, so that shouldn't change much. Stone. Let's see here, where is it at? Stone brick. We maxed out at 10k. I'm guessing that is about what we produce in one of them. That is at least where we hit at. So should we just call it 10k for now? But the crafting speeds are the same as this, just requires double the resources. So I can't see why it should be 10 unless we output more at a time. Because other than that, it should be the same speed as a copper one. I don't think they're producing 10k per minute, but it might be the case. Let's call it 10k for now. That's at least what we have. 8k per minute. So let's say it's produced. Wow, my spelling is completely shite. There we go. 10k per minute. And if that is correct or not, we'll see when we start to produce more. Let's call you green. Green circuits. And then we can have these two running full speed without needing any more greens. Might have to expand out a bit in terms of... yeah, I think I'm completely wrong with my ratios. Because they're producing faster. Unless something else is holding us back. Yeah, we'll have to figure out these ratios, because I think I'm wrong to some degree. What did we hit there? If we look at this one. $42k. 25k per minute, 20k per minute. Yeah, there's at least something wrong with these ratios. I can already say that. But yeah, we'll maybe do some calculations on it instead. Could probably be a bit easier. But as you can say, oh, that's probably why. As you can see, our solar panels has also gone out yet again. So power-wise, we'll have to expand out. Luckily, we are making quite a bit around the base. So let's just do a quick expansion up here, just to get our tier 2 down. Because going to tier 3 right now will be a bit expensive, but it will happen very, very soon. But this way I don't have to do all the solar panels off camera. That is kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, advanced circuits is our Achilles heel. So should we just expand this down until we get to a surplus and not really worry about it and always just overproduce? Could do something like that. Let's just take a few more, because I know we are needing it anyway. And then I'll have to worry about the power afterwards. You'll have to go away. There we are. Hopefully our base can handle this. Of course we can't power-wise, but that we are about to sort. Should we go to the next tier? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need pretty much 2.5 of these to run one of these. Oh, sorry, one of these. At least running one a second, or one every 10 seconds. I think this will be fine for now in terms of what our base can handle. So let's keep it like that. This is also running. Probably going to be a bit longer before I can keep up, since, as always, our battery is actually keeping up. Seriously. Wow, look at that. That's brilliant. So that is keeping up. That is producing at a nice pace. That was our mining productivity. So let's just get a bit more battery size. Quite cheap one, but I want to get it done. So they can fly a bit further before they need charging. How did our consumption look on the science? Look at you. About 700 seems to be the point where we can't keep up. So this is almost 700 as it is right now, and it might be because these are lacking as much as they are. Again, that is a problem with our red circuits that we are hopefully solving by doing this. At least doubling our production. Red circuits, red circuit. So I just kind of want to overproduce and then take it from there. But our power is most definitely not gonna like that. I can tell you that much. So should we expand this out, just adding in... No, we can't even get these produced fast. Oh, it's only using green. So this should... Oh, copper? Seriously? Copper is there. All the robots being used. Nope. Why? Oh. What? Did I do the wrong ratio? Or the wrong recipe? Oh, I did the one for this one. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. You guys have probably been yelling that at me for a long time now. That is not good. That does explain why our resources were looking as they were. So let's just deconstruct these. And let's pretty much just remove all the blue ones from here so we can set it up correctly. Please remove requested yes, because that was a silly mistake to do. It's It's not the same over here, is it? No, you're running fine, and you are also getting what you need. Just lacking how fast they can get here. Other than that, this might just need a buffer chest. Can we put it some... Oh, this is completely full in here. We can add one right here on the side. Requesting all of the things we need, pretty much the batteries. So they can get delivered out a bit faster. Just get 2k batteries in, since we'll probably need it. 40, 40, 80. Yeah, this is also a case of us not requesting in enough. And there and there. And then let's steal this part and just stamp it down to get that lined up correctly. So now we should be requesting a bit more. We just need a bit of iron as well. Just get a bit of iron, just get 1,000. So we're buffering a bit. And then we'll have to fix this, which was a huge mess. But of course it was working since we had that big of a surplus down here. So at least I didn't notice. I know you guys probably did. But yeah. Shame on me. There we go. And then we'll just need one for you. Oh, did you request some buffer chests? That is rather important. There we are. Request for buffer chest and request what we need. And then we can expand this up until here, here, and here. That should be better. Of course, a power will most definitely not like it. Let's just add the chest right here so we can see what we need. That being iron and green circuits. And copper. To 1,000, 1,000 and 1,000. So that is gonna tax our system quite a bit getting this up and running. But it should mean that all of these should also be working a lot better now than they were before. And it also means that most of this can be deconstructed. So let's take and remove that one, a bit of cleaning, and remove this one. Cause a lot of accumulators that will just get put in somewhere. And that should mean that our batteries will be saved for a little while these produce. Oh, look at that. That is looking brilliant. So that is that. Power is still being constructed slowly since I messed up the way they were being made. But now we should be able to make... Oh, we can't input that fast enough. Isn't that always a little problem? That is kind of what I am seeing. Pretty much do that to upgrade you. How about over here? Will probably be the same issue. There we are. Just to increase the speed a bit. I don't want that to be our limiting factor. So that means that our science, if we look at the, or not science, solar panels, if we look at the production, we went from producing a bit here, but yeah, having a bit of a horrible production. But hopefully this will sort it out. Of course, we still have the issue of our power that we will have to solve. But then again, we do have a lot of robots moving around the base, but things are not keeping up. A lot of things are running out now, as expected. So it's all about getting even more resources in. That is kind of what's holding us back. But as soon as we let it stabilize, we should be good. How is our storage looking? Still more than good. doing exactly what it needs to. Flying in, delivering out. Perfect. Yeah, the science is just chucking along very, very nicely. So yeah, let's just set up one last thing before we stop. That is pretty much just more steel, because that is not keeping up. So what if we just add a ton of steel? So let's see, where one steel here. Oh, let's pretty much just do it like this. Luckily, it is so easy to do. 2 and 3. That will require quite a bit of resources, but then we will be able to do a bit more. Ooh, before this gets up and running, I'll have to check how much are we producing at the moment. Steel. Let's just go and check. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Steel producing 3.7 in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that is about 700. So that is correct. But here we go. And with that, I think this is a good place to stop. We still have a lot of things we need to catch up on. That is pretty much just a case of plastic and other things. Plastic is running as fast as it can, so let's just do this. Can we fit in 2 more? No, we can fit in 1 more. At least we should be able to fit in 1 more. So let's take this part, stamp you down right here, and take this one and throw on top of it. There we are. Then our base has a lot to work with. Oh, and we need to add in some speed. I want to get this solved before we stop the episode, so we at least have some production going, so we can see what our next bottleneck is. There, and come on, in with this one. Speed. Hopefully, it will output it fast enough to get all the way to the end. That seems to be the case. Yeah, it is filling up now with petroleum in each of them. We are using quite a bit, but that is perfect. So yeah, let's end it here. Missing a ton of things, but we have expanded both the red, steel. The plastic is pretty much what's holding up the advanced circuits, so I think they'll be fine just to let this run now. So next episode, we'll look more at our power. That is probably going to be the next thing that's going to run out a few times. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll give me a like, subscribe, and then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.